kupita chisogolo pakhoza kukhala kuti mwina mbewu zina zomwe tikulima ngati kumalawi kuno tikhoza mwina kupeza nsika kumeneko komanso iwo mwina akhoza kuthandiza mwina kuona zinthu zina ananenakonso mwina kuti pali chiyembekezo yonena kuti anthu akufuna mwina ma opportunities achinyamata mwina magawo amaphunziro momwemo mwina ma scholarship aja amatero even working opportunities pakati pa anthu awiriwa mwina madokotala aku Scotland tikhoza kuona uchulukaso akufika kumalawi kuno kudzera muzokambirana ngati zimenezi ndizofunikira kwambiri kuti dziko la Malawi mwina lizikhala ndi maubale ngati amenewa.
Yes, Ndongo, we are talking about Malawi and Scottish government formalizes the formal cooperation in 2005. Briefly, what can you say about the cooperation between Malawi and Scottish government?
Malawi and Scottish government have been working together in a number of areas. At the moment, they are working together in the health and the education sectors. I do believe that with the meetings of this kind will enhance our collaboration in other sectors. These include areas to do with poverty reduction and improving the well-being of Malawians. I do understand that we have the Malawi-Scottish partnership, a body that looks into our collaboration with the Scottish government. So, with the coming in of the Scottish First Minister, I do believe that we will unlock other opportunities to Malawians.
One of the areas the Scottish government is supporting Malawi government is education. We are saying sustainable development goal number 4 emphasizes on the access to education to all. How crucial is this sector as far as the relationship between Malawi and Scottish government?
You cannot overemphasize the importance of education to well-being of Malawians. I do understand we do have what is known as the Malawi Agenda 2063, and human capital development is very key. With this kind of arrangement, I believe that the ministers and the leaders of the two governments will be discussing other possible opportunities in the same sector that Malawians can tap from. The partnership model that they are using, the Malawi-Scottish partnership and the Malawi government, is based on mutual respect and understanding, with both the Malawi-Scottish partnership in Scotland and Malawi-Scottish partnership in Malawi being equally accountable to each other. That is a bridge there that is coordinating the arrangement there. This approach seeks to empower local ownership and counter the traditional North and South aid paradigm. Maybe there should be that shift.
Timagamba kuti mbali ina yomwe dziko la boma la Scottish limathandiza kwambiri dziko la Malawi ndi mbali ya zamaphunziro. Timagamba kuti gawo 4 ya mfundo za chitukuko imasindika kwambiri nkhani za maphunziro kuti mwana aliyense akhale ndi danga upeza mwayi opita ku sukulu, kuti zimenezi zofunika bwanji pamene tikuunika ubale wa pakati pa mayiko awiri amene.
Mwina kufunikira kwa maphunziro mwina sitingachite pano kuswera kumafotokoza maphunziro ndofunika kwambiri. Ingakhale masomphenya a dziko la Malawi amene tikugwisa ntchito pano a Malawi 63 human capital development, kuphunzitsa nzika ndi chinthu chimodzi chomwe chingathandize mwina dziko la Malawi kuchoka pamene lilipa kumapita mwina zigawo zina. Ndiye ndikukhulupirira kuti pamene tikupita chisogolo ndi ubale ndi dziko limene la Scotland, a president athu amene waprofesa Mutharika pamene akhala akumana ndi Scottish First Minister akhala akuunika magawo amene kuti tingachite zina zotani zonesesa kuti mwina ngati mtundu tipindule mokwanira ndi maubale ngati amenewa.
Mbali na unatsindika Chingerezi nkhani yochepetsa umphawi zomwenso boma limene likuthandiza dziko la Malawi. Ndiye zofunika bwanji kuti mayiko amenewa azigwira ntchito limodzi komanso boma limene likuthandiza dziko la Malawi pa nkhondo yolimbana ndi umphawi m'dziko muno?
Mwina tingokambapo mwachidule kuti anzathu amene wa ku Scotland akutithandizira project cha kwambiri timati Climate Just Communities CJC project yomwe akugwira ntchito mwina ndi mgwirizano wa mabungwe osiyanasiyana omwe kusogoledwa ndi boma mwina pochepesa mavuto kapena ululu omwe wabwera m'dziko muno kamba ka kusintha kwa nyengo. maiko olemera ali ndi udindo othandizanso maiko aku Global South kuphatikiza ku Malawi kuti akwanise kuthana mokwanira ndi kusintha kwa nyengo. Mwachisanzo posachedwa pa unaona amene anamondo anatipanikizira awaso maiko ngati Scotland ali ndi responsibility yonesesa kuti anthu amene ali ku Global South kuphatikiza ku Malawi akuthandizidwa mokwanira ndi akupereka kumene kuzera mu ntchito zimene zamati CJC project zomwe ogwira ntchito ndi adindo osiyanasiyana akupereka ndalama za nkhani tikunena ndalama zoposera 8 billion kwa ya dziko la Malawi yomwe inapita ku ntchito zimenezi. Cholinga chake kwambiri ndi kuonesesa kuti miyoyo ya anthu amene akukhala malo achiopsezo acha ikhale yokwanira kuzidalira kunena kuti zati zachitikaso asazasowe pogwira ya. So ndi project yokuti kuzera mu CJC project akuchita zinthu zingapo zachilendo zomwe zikuthandiza mwina kuchulusa kapena kupanga increase capacity ya anthu amene amakhuzidwa ndi ngozi zogwa mwazizizi.
Tukamba kuti tili ku Sanjika Palace mu mzinda wa Blantyre komwe nduna yaikulu ya dziko la chikombe za Scottish government ikubwera ndithu kudzakumana ndi mtsogoleri wa dziko lino Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika. Maiko amene watu akhala kugwirira ntchito limodzi pa ntchito zosiyanasiyana monga amene wakambira mzanga Charles mu chaka cha muzaka zingapo zapitazo pakhala kuchitika ntchito zosiyanasiyana zomwe ndithu maiko amenewa akhala akugwirira ntchito limodzi. They're saying the relationship between Scots and Malawians began in 1859 with the warm welcome extended to David Livingstone and his companions when he entered what is now Malawi for the first time. The challenge posed by the United Nations Millennium Development Goals was taken up in Scotland in the late 1990s by David Livingstone, where a number of issues were raised. From that time to now, the two countries have been working together up to now. So ndifatake nduna ya dziko limeneli yaikulu kwambiri yafika mdziko muno kuzakambirana komanso kuzaona ntchito zingapo zomwe maiko amenewa akugwirira ntchito limodzi kumbali ya zamaphunziro kumbali ya zaulimi komanso kumbali zina zochepetsa umphawi pakati pa Malawi. Ndiye saying the First Minister John Sweeney who also visited Zambia and Malawi to see the impact of Scottish government international development and climate justice work on the lives of people in partner countries over the past 2 decades, as indicated by my colleague Charles Chindongo. This will be the first time as the First Minister has visited this country since historic cooperation. Now the State President, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, is entering the house. Any minute from now, the event will start. Ladies and gentlemen, State President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika. I've seen the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. George Chaponda, several senior government officials and officials from Scottish government. We are giving you a live coverage of a courtesy call of Scottish First Minister John Sweeney here at Sanjika Palace in Blantyre. Mtsogoleri wa dziko lino ndithu kukambirana ziwiri zitatu ndi nduna ya dziko limeneli John Sweeney kuno ku Sanjika Palace. Ndi nthawi iliyonse mwambo umenewu ukhale ukuyamba zikomo.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Your Excellency. Good morning, Your Excellency. Maybe after the Mlako, I got carried away. It has pleased Your Excellency to meet today Right Honourable John Sweeney, First Minister of Scotland. And before I proceed, Your Excellency, let's have introduction from their side and also from our side. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister Chaponda. Your Excellency, I'm John Sweeney, the First Minister of Scotland. It's an enormous privilege to meet you today, and thank you for being able to see me today. I'm joined by the British... Well,
good morning, Your Excellency and Honourable Minister Chaponda, I'm Rebecca Fabrizi and I am Acting High Commissioner of the United Kingdom in Malawi. Thank you.
Good morning, Excellency, President and Honourable Minister George Ponda. My name is Joanna Keating and I'm lead official with the Honourable John Swinney. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Excellency, Minister. My name is Ross Ingerbritson and I'm a Special Advisor to the First Minister of Scotland.
Good morning, Your Excellency, Minister. My name is Rosie McCarran and I'm the Private Secretary to the First Minister of Scotland.
Good morning, Your Excellency and Honourable Minister. My name is Ben Nicholson. I'm the British Deputy High Commissioner and Development Director.
Good morning, Your Excellency. I'm Max Wenga, Executive Assistant to the President of the Republic of Malawi. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Good morning, Excellency. Right Honourable First Minister. My name is Chibango Chirwa and Your Excellency is Chief of Protocol. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Excellency. I am Dagamau, Director State Residences. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Good morning, Your Excellency. Right Honourable John Swinney. My name is John Paul Butao. I'm Assistant Director of Europe Directorate in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Thank you so much.
Your Excellency, I'm George Chaponda, the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And at this time, Your Excellency, I pass over to the Right Honourable John Swinney, the First Minister of Scotland, for some remarks.
Your Excellency, President Mutharika, thank you very much for your warm welcome to Malawi today. And since I arrived on Friday, I've been struck by the hospitality, the dynamism and the energy of the people of Malawi, and it's a great privilege to be with you this morning. Firstly, I would like to applaud the people of Malawi on the recent peaceful elections and to congratulate you, Your Excellency, on your election as Malawi's 7th President. Honourable Minister George Chaponda, Minister for Foreign Affairs, thank you for your warm welcome to Malawi on Friday, and it's a pleasure to see you again today. And may I say all other protocols observed. This is my first visit to Malawi, Your Excellency, a visit that I was determined personally to undertake as First Minister, to see at first hand the merits and the impact of the Scottish Government's investment in and support and solidarity for Malawi. I'm clear that all countries have a duty to contribute to the international community, but the relationship between Scotland and Malawi is particularly significant for all of us. A relationship built on 150 years of shared history, yet a relationship which we have strived to modernise to one of shared goals and true partnership for the 21st century. My visit is all the more timely in that this is the 20th anniversary year of the signing of the original cooperation agreement between our two governments in November 2005, which formalised the partnership between Malawi and Scotland at governmental level. Your Excellency, our cooperation agreement was then updated in April 2018 when you visited Scotland, putting into place a new modern Global Goals Partnership Agreement, which you signed as President during your visit to Edinburgh with my predecessor, Nicola Sturgeon. The breadth and the depth of our partnership means that we have a lot to talk about today. In particular, I'm keen to update you on our health, inclusive education and equalities programming, and on hearing your reflections on this, at this compelling juncture in our partnership. But first, if I may offer some reflections as we mark 20 years since the cooperation agreement between Scotland and Malawi was first signed. Scotland truly values the strength of our friendship with Malawi. As we know, it is a relationship rooted in history, but it's one based on shared values. It is also inherently modern and innovative. And I'm clear that the relationship our countries hold is of the utmost importance to me personally, as it is to the country that I have the privilege to serve. Through my visit, I'm committed to further deepening that relationship and to ensuring that it is a modern partnership based on true solidarity between Scotland and Malawi. Your Excellency, in my short time in your country, I've met incredibly dedicated staff at Kamuzu University for Health Sciences and seen firsthand the vital research being carried out at the state-of-the-art Blantyre lab. It is a powerful testament to what can be achieved when ambition, partnership and purpose come together. Research by Africans, in Africa, for Africa. One of the most joyful moments of my time in Malawi was meeting the bright, newly graduated young dentist at KUHES yesterday, Malawi's first cohort of homegrown dentists. Through our Maldent project to set up the first dental school in Malawi, it represents a key contribution to the future of oral health here in Malawi. I've also met communities in Zomba who are taking control of their livelihoods thanks to support from our Climate Justice Fund. This has increased my resolve to continue to make the case for the need to scale up good quality climate finance, including finance for loss and damage, to meet commitments made under the Paris Agreement. I've also witnessed varied and vivid demonstrations of the civic connections that unite Malawi and Scotland, from the St Michael and All Angels Church to the historic Mandala House, to the warm tales of Scotland and Malawians kindly shared with me over the course of the last few days. And yesterday I met with investment partners in our Malawi investment initiative at Mandala House, with the Malawi National Development Bank and St Andrews Macadamia Farm. This supports your determination, Your Excellency, to move Malawi from aid to trade. Our work together, our partnership, continues to change lives and to transform communities in Malawi and Scotland alike. There is still, of course, work to do, and I am very committed to ensuring that Scotland plays its part as we make a journey addressing the challenges that face the people of Malawi, but bringing our values together in the pursuit of equality and human rights for all. In closing, Your Excellency, I wish to convey once again my thanks to you for your kind invitation to visit Malawi, and my thanks to all in your government, to the ministers present and to the United Kingdom government represented here by the High Commissioner, who have helped to facilitate my visit. It is an honour and a privilege to visit your country and to engage closely with our partners in the government of Malawi. I want to take this opportunity to again assure you that Scotland remains wholly committed to investing in and indeed growing its unique relationship with Malawi, a relationship that I heard about as a child through the example of the work of Dr. David Livingstone, educated in the work that he undertook in Scottish schools, and appreciating the significance and the respect that he held for the people of Malawi, and that is a respect that I reciprocate today. I look forward to our work being focused together in health, education, equalities, renewable energy and climate justice, with sustainable economic growth and well-being in Malawi, our shared goal. My intent is that my visit here this week helps to cement our relationship further beyond the 20 years that we are currently marking into the future, and that Scotland and Malawi continue to work together to ensure that we have an innovative and forward-looking relationship founded in the depth of our historical connections, but yet committed to the great potential of future growth and to working together to advance the interests of the people of Malawi and Scotland together. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Your Excellency. It is now my pleasure, Your Excellency, to call upon Your Excellency for your remarks or response to the speech. Thank you.
Right Honorable Minister Sweeney, your delegation, Malawi delegation, and all distinguished people in this room. First of all, I think, matter of disclosure, I must say that some of us, certainly me, and I think Honorable Chaponda too, we do our schools in the church school and mission schools. During the old days, all the primary schools were run by either Catholics or Church of Scotland. So we learned there, and I think our parents were baptized in the Church of Scotland. And so we have a long history of connection between ourselves at a personal level and also to the people of Scotland. And you always feel at home when you're in Scotland. We really do. So I'm very, very glad that you have come here at this time, and I appreciate that you are coming here so early. We're only 14 days old, and the government, we are still trying to establish the government and the systems, and not yet ready, and we really appreciate you coming to encourage us, to exchange with us ideas about democracy, about development, as we move the challenge facing this country. This country is facing serious challenges. You probably know. I knew there were challenges looking from outside, but when we went inside and saw the books, we said we really do have challenges, real challenges. I think things have got as bad as they can be. They can't get worse. There's no way they can get worse than they are. So we are facing those challenges. In 2014, when I came back from opposition then, we faced hunger and fundamentals, macroeconomic fundamentals were quite poor. We managed within a period of 9 months to a year to certainly reduce hunger to the extent that no single person died of hunger. And we were able to reduce interest rates to below 1 digit, and also interest rates 1 digit, and inflation now is very high, and we have a real challenge ahead of us. So we have identified what we call the 4 fours. That is forex, fertilizer, fuel, and food. There are 4 key things that we have got to do immediately at the moment. And on the food issue, we already sourced maize from Zambia. In 2 weeks, we shall have completed all the financing arrangements, and we hope to have the food here rolling into Malawi, 2,100 metric tons. And that should deal with the immediate problems of hunger. The second is now short-term fertilizer, to make sure that you get fertilizer on time. At the moment, it looks like the rain may come anytime. So if we just have got to be ready, it can come now, November, December, even as late as January, but we can't take a chance. It can be any time. So we're getting ready, my ministry and all the officials are working very hard to source fertilizer. This time, not from butcheries, as we did before, but this time it will be from the real sources, from real fertilizer factories. And so we'll do that, and we'll work that. Now, once we have done that, and those are short term, then we have to deal with the forex situation. The forex is an immediate situation. We have to deal with it immediately, obviously. But to deal with that, in a way, it's a vicious cycle. We need production and manufacturing. I remember I was at a panel in our country, actually in London, at the UK Africa Summit. So we're talking about the African free market and how we can take advantage of it. And so I think it was Kagame, myself, and Conde from Guinea. So on the panel, and Minister Grant, Helen Grant. And we're talking, so when they came to me, I said, what plans do you have to take advantage of the African common market? I said, I don't have any plans. So they said, why? I said, I have no plans, I have nothing to sell. If I'm not manufacturing anything, if I'm not making anything, I cannot sell anything on that market, and that's the truth. We are simply not producing. And therefore, to talk about markets and non-tariff barriers and all those things is fine, but you have got to be able to manufacture first. So we're going to that next stage of manufacturing, both agricultural products but also minerals. We want to add value here. We are planning to stop upon all these artisanal miners. We are planning to stop any kind of exportation. I know there's corruption, exportation. Make sure that the big guys enter also the market, that these minerals are processed here, and then they're sent in some kind of processed form to where they're going to be huge amounts of minerals. I was talking to the company from Australia. I think Shell alone, Kankakude, yes, they have enough minerals, rare earth, of high quality to last 100 years. And at Cassia, Central Region, rutile, graphite, to last about 60 years. If only those two were exploited and processed domestically, we have enough money to create a sovereign fund to run this country as Norway did. As you know, Norway was a very poor country until they discovered oil, and they created a sovereign fund, and Norway is now one of the richest countries at its per capita in Europe. And that's the direction we should be going. So manufacturing, and I took the unconventional step of creating a new ministry of industrialization, business, trade, and tourism, because they're all together. They all are supposed to bring in revenue in this country, foreign exchange, and I put a very distinguished private sector person who has been head of one of, I think, the largest bank in this country for many, many years, but also was heading a conglomerate of 24 companies called the Press Corporation. It's one of Kamuzu Banda's companies. He left and assigned him with probably the most crucial assignment, and that is to make sure that we produce. And of course, once we go into production, then we need to go into long-term. Long-term, obviously, things like infrastructure. You probably have, I guess you have traveled from the airport to here, and the road is quite good from the airport to here. But if we went to the other side, you find the road not so good. And that creates a bottleneck for economic development, because people cannot move their goods quickly enough to the market. So we want to improve the road system, but more particularly, in 2017, my government introduced a national road plan. That plan tries to shift transportation from road to rail and water lake. We have a lake here with 365 miles from here all the way to Taronga, and you can use that for the heavy volumes. And of course the rail transportation to Mozambique, Nakala for oil, huge rail. It's also economical. I think that it costs us half whatever quantity, half the cost if we use rail. And of course, the roads will always continue the only way. So this is our plan. That's a long plan, improve the infrastructure, and possibly we hope to have also air transport. When I was here last time, we're negotiating with Emirates for daily flights, and also the government of Turkey. We're negotiating for flights to Malawi, commercial flights. We have one cargo plane that comes once a week from Dubai to here, and that's helpful. But we want to do more because our location is very attractive in this region. It could be a substation for the rest of Southern Africa. So we need to do that, and we need to integrate more with our neighbors. For example, you can fly to Mozambique directly. If you want to go to Mozambique, which is right here, you have to go to Johannesburg first, and then fly from there to Maputo. Takes almost 5 hours, depending on the connections. If you flew directly, it will be less than 2 hours from Blantyre to Maputo. So we need to improve our transportation there, and communication agreement. And in that extent, for example, we are where they have the interconnection with Mozambique. We'll be buying electricity from Mozambique. At the moment, 20 increased to 50. Actually, it was started by my brother, and then he left, and then the World Bank left, then we instituted it around 2016, and we didn't quite complete it. And unfortunately, the present government continued with it, and they are almost completed now. I think the president of Zambia was telling me anytime, I think this year probably, that it will be ready to roll. Initially 50 megawatts, but probably more. And the Northern Line made possible by MCC, Miami Chang Corporation. We need to take a line all the way to Tanzania, so that we also take advantage of electricity from East African Power Pool, so we can buy from East Africa, but also from Mozambique. Mozambique and South Africa, Mozambique. Now, if our power plant improves, we also can sell them. So it's a win-win for everybody. So in the energy area, we're looking also at those kinds of things. So we have a lot of ideas that we want to put on the table. The problem is always, of course, resources. But there are, I think, institutions of goodwill. The Paramanja Gorge on the lake, I'm sorry, on the river, as we come from Lilongwe to Blantyre at the river here, about 30 miles from here, there is a new power plant which will be using water. We will use water, not coal. The coal plant was shut down, but nobody's going to find coal anymore. That's a no-no. So that one's closed at Kamwamba. They're now talking about water, but also electricity, solar to power plant. That I only heard about it last week when I met one of the Chinese. I didn't know there was such a thing as solar to power generation at that level. I didn't know, but apparently it can happen. So we'll be looking into that also. So we have a whole range of areas for which we need assistance. Now, when I was in Scotland last time on a state visit, I had a long discussion with Madam Nicola Sturgeon, the former First Minister, and that resulted on a program. As you know, Scotland has one of the best water management programs in the world, so they're going to help us with water management, which is also an important thing here. Yeah, in spite of the fact of our lake, but water is a challenge, so they're going to help us with that, send experts to teach us how to do it. And I think it's being done. And I know we talked about in Edinburgh at the Investor Strathclyde, we talked about a dental school, and now it has started. The first cohort has just graduated this year. So there's progress, very positive progress with your country, and we appreciate that very much. So we hope that can continue. Let me stop here. I've talked too much. Let me stop here and hear your response and response from the others here.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I think it's very good to hear of the plans that you have and the ambitious plans to strengthen the situation in Malawi and to address what you acknowledge yourself as some of the deep challenges the country faces. What I would want to make clear is that there is a willing engagement from Scotland to work with you in that respect. So in some of the projects that we are taking forward already around education, around water and water management are crucial. I saw some excellent work on Saturday in Zomba, where imaginative schemes using solar power to create water irrigation schemes by pumping from groundwater was helping to strengthen agricultural production within the community. So it was very directly helping individuals. There are so many other areas in which you cited the example of the dental students. That is a source of real achievement from our partnership agreement, whereby the Kumuza University is now leading a program for dental training, and that first cohort are now ready to deploy their skills in the population in Malawi. And I met the graduates yesterday, and they are full of energy, and many of them, of course, have spent time in Scotland as part of an exchange program, learning about the skills within our dental schools in Scotland. And of course, as you said, the deep bonds of connection around education are well founded from your own experience and those of Mr. Chaponda, but also in terms of the volume of educations carried out by institutions in Scotland that are supporting the work of people in Malawi. So there is a very significant number of steps that have been taken that cement that cooperation and that joint activity. I think one of the areas which is of particular interest is how...
At this session, at this time, we would like to go into closed session. So we request the press to leave in order that we can go into... But we'll go into the...
we heard remarks from Scottish First Minister, Right Honourable John Sweeney, and His Excellency the State President, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika. Now the meeting will be in camera. The media will take leave in a time from now. Just some. This marks the end of our live coverage of Kedeseko of His Excellency Right Honourable John Sweeney, first Scottish First Minister to State President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika. My name is Zimenezi. I hand you over back to Kwaja Studios for our continued programs. Thank you very much.